Welcome, Star Wars fans. Here we talk about all things Star Wars with rumors, facts, news, and random shenanigans. Get ready and strap into your Millennium Falcon. This is the Force Choke Podcast.
All right, everyone, and welcome to episode 81 of the Force Choke Podcast. Today we have Micah, Tim, myself, Lewis here. We're going to be missing Sarah. She's very busy at work today, so she's not going to be able to join us. So let's just get right into it for episode 81. We're going to talk about the Star Wars Holiday Special 2020 version, the Lego version, right, of the Holiday Special. So, Tim, since you saw it, The Last of Us, I'm sure it's the most fresh in your mind. Can you first tell us, did you like it or did you not like it?
I guess I didn't like it. I was just like, I couldn't like it. For it just seemed to they went to every single era. They went to like every movie they touched based on some scene on in the movie, and they would take something from that scene altogether as they travel through space and time. These different they're grabbing Obi-Wan from the prequel universe. They're grabbing Obi-Wan from the sequel universe. They just kind of like they grabbed them from the original trilogy. They put them like all these different Obi-Wans together. It's just an example. They had, they did have other characters kind of doing the same thing, but that's the story wasn't much of a story, but as the movie went on from beginning to end, it's just the whole thing about jumping through space and time with this key that Rey finds because she feels lost in her teaching. She's not teaching Finn well. That it's not working. She's getting upset. She's like, why can't I be like my masters before me or the other masters teaching their students? What am I doing wrong? After she's been through all her books, and yeah, that was fine. I guess like the whole thing with her teaching and it's not working for her, and what do I need to do? And she's searching for answers, but then the answer is like the key that's going to show her all the masters of the past and their students and how they did it. And she wasn't like, I guess she wasn't getting it. It's like, I don't get how they're doing it. And then Yoda has to come out and say, well, this is what you need to see, like look beyond this, and then you'll see what is it that you see between all their masters and students. And he's like, well, it's, what do you say? Friendship, where he's like being friends or good close friends.
Yeah.
Right? And she's like, oh, I've been teaching Finn wrong this whole time. I've just kind of just been I guess not caring about his feelings. Like his feelings are getting hurt whenever she's like, you're not doing it right. So she's kind of just being more friendly to him whenever, I mean, help. She's kind of doing things differently as she's teaching him. But yeah,
So
just the whole, like,
you didn't like it.
some of it was funny. Yeah, I didn't. There was some things. There's like little things in there that they did that was kind of like, does it mean something that they're saying that, or does this mean, uh, like in the actual, like, I don't think they're gonna take any of this and say this is part of Star Wars. I mean, it is Star Wars, but this is part of that same universe, even though it is the same universe that they're going for. The one we get from the sequels. Yeah, I mean, it was overall, to me, it was just I just couldn't handle the so much of the jumping in and out of things, and didn't give me much story in 40 minutes or however much time it was.
Yeah, that's
What
around.
about you guys? What did you think?
What did you think, Micah? Or do you? You can. I can go next if you want me to.
It's fine. It it was just, I think it's what it's supposed to be. It's just a cute little Star Wars retelling story. I feel like I'm gonna get heat for this one. Not exactly designed for anyone else, probably other than kids. Hence the Lego holiday special. But I mean, it's not something I would particularly watch again. And even at times, I was just kind of like, "Can't we be done with this almost?" I hate to say that because it's Star Wars, but I mean, it is just that it's just something that doesn't really make sense with the story, kind of like what Tim was alluding to.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Well, they were just
but it
there to
also,
celebrate Life Day. It was all about like celebrating this Life Day.
yeah, I mean, it had the backdrop with the Life Day, but there's other things you can reach from it, kind of like Clone Wars. Every episode you had, like, there was some kind of lesson to be learned,
Hmm.
and obviously, like as Tim mentioned at the beginning, Ray was very fastidious as far as trying to attempt to train Finn, but then there was a message you could pull from the end of it, which is appreciation for family, appreciation for your friends. There's more than just simply, running it down like a robot type thing. But I also thought it was interesting too. There's a couple things. It almost seemed like they were retconning. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, cool. Like, we obviously know that they weren't going to open the actual time portal from I forgot the name of the actual like Jedi temple, or whatever. That they have the ability to go through time and such. Um, like that was just kind of like the backdrop for the notion of all this stuff can happen. But it seemed like they're retconning a few things because it's like they should have trained Finn, but they never did in the story. Lando, go. Sorry. Um, like they didn't train Finn in the story, but you see him being trained here. There's a couple like just little nuanced things like that. It's like, and then all this more or less took place. This is like after the events of the entire trilogy, because she has her yellow saber.
Hmm.
But then they make no mention of some of the finer points because it takes forever. It doesn't take forever, but it takes an especially long time for making an animation movies, especially
Hmm.
Lego movies. And I imagine they were probably started already working on this before they finished Rise of Skywalker. So I
Yeah.
wonder if that had anything to do with not having any real mention, because it's not like, oh my god, because the whole joke, I was training with my father, or my master's father, my master's father's father, and that whole goofy thing. But they
Yeah.
never made one mention about her being the
Pop.
granddaughter of Palpatine.
Yeah.
So again, or just to try to surmise it, it was probably cute for kids. Cool Star Wars, but nothing I'll particularly watch again. It was silly, but it's. eh, I'm sure this should not be a controversial thing to say. This was better than the previous holiday special.
I
Uh
didn't see the
oh.
last. Oh, the one in the 70s, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I thought, yeah, I figured you're talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's been any other holiday specials, have there?
I have no
I
idea.
think it's just that one.
Because I figure they kind of did that too. Like, this is the new holiday special that you can get behind and really, really, truly love this time.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at Legos, and if not, you're a hater and you don't deserve to be in this fan of this franchise.
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with Micah. There was some cool lessons to be learned for young children in this. For me, I didn't really care for it. I guess I would have give it like a 5 out of 10, kind of. You know what I
Wow,
mean?
that's generous.
You know, yeah, exactly. And the only reason is because it does give a few life lessons. You know what I mean, to kids. Um, I was gonna ask you guys a couple of questions. Is this what KK meant when she was talking about that we will get more stories with Ray, Finn, and Poe after the sequels?
Oh, is this a holiday special being one of them?
Oh god
That's what I'm
damn.
asking.
Uh, maybe. I don't think so. I'm thinking I'm talking like she's probably talking about books telling a story after everything. I don't know about films because they were trying to get away from movies and go into their TV shows. So if there's any more content, it's gonna be books or comics after that trilogy we had.
Yeah, what do you think, Micah?
I know there's this escapade to lynch her, and I know there's an escapade to protect her because her name is, stamped on some of the good things of Disney Star Wars, but I just have a certain level of distrust when it comes to her and what she says about Star Wars, particularly moving forward, because it seems like I just don't. That it'll probably come back to we just don't have a lot of content to work with. It's
Yeah.
like you gotta be fucking kidding me, right? I don't. I maybe that's what she mentioned. Maybe they have something in the pipe for down the road. I kind of hope she's not the one to be there to help with that. Like I think it's. I mean, it's possible. When did she make that comment? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I think it was a little bit after the
It was
release
right after, I think. Yeah,
of The Rise of Skywalker.
yeah.
And when I was watching this special, not to cut you off, Micah, real quick,
No, that's fine.
but getting towards the end of the holiday special that we just watched, that's what I was thinking to myself, and that's why I wanted to ask y'all. I was like, is this what she meant by we're gonna get more stories with Finn, Rey, and Poe? Is this it? You know what I mean? Stuff like this.
I wonder if in the future they have something because we already suspect, whether it's going to take a couple years or longer than that, that we'd see some kind of continuation of Ray's story. I wonder if, and we know, unfortunately, John Boyega is, disheartened with the way his story turned up into the new trilogy. But I wonder if they had some way to make amends and also get back to what they planned.
Hmm.
Maybe give him a side story like of his legit training or something. Somehow becomes a Jedi, and then they have like another trilogy beginning in the future where they all come back.
Hmm.
Uh, I because we unfortunately we know how it is. Like prequels came out and everyone was shitting on the prequels, but now people seem to have a newfound appreciation for the prequels as soon as we saw the sequels.
Yeah.
So is it kind of like just wait for the new trilogy and you'll love the sequels?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know. I mean, it'd be kind of neat, maybe I guess to see them in the future, even for nostalgia's sake, kind of
Yeah.
like how we saw the original, trio. Um, but I just, if that's what Kathleen Kennedy was talking about, then this goes to show that maybe it's her time to bow out and find someone else with a new direction. Because it seems like Star Wars is doing pretty well right now because of the Mandalorian series and a
Yeah.
newfound, uh, just a new take with it. It's seemingly helping it out, and it seems like the movies, if anything, were liability when it comes to that.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you guys two more questions about the holiday special, and then we're going to go into the Mandalorian season 2, episode 4. So one of the other reasons I don't want to bash on the holiday special because it was for kids, but um, was that the Emperor or was that Stewie playing the Emperor?
Dude, I thought the same for like a few seconds. There was a certain part was like it sounded like him.
Yeah.
It felt like it was the
Less
same
talky,
person.
more fighty. Kind of. I
Yeah.
was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cringy.
Yeah. Um, it kind of seemed like some of it was semi-reminiscent of Robot Chicken's take on Star Wars too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
maybe that's what they were going for. And then the last thing was, y'all mentioned it. So we've seen time travel in Rebels, and now we've seen time travel in the holiday special. is Star Wars setting us up and getting us ready for more time travel based stories in the future? And we can just do like yes or no. We don't really have to delve into it. What do you think, Micah? Bold prediction.
Yes, I'm already saying yes.
Oh, okay, Micah. Hi, me as Tim thing. Maybe, possibly, probably. I don't think it's going to be necessarily a mainstream thing, but probably something they'll use in the future to try to tie stuff up, especially if they try to retcon stuff from the sequel trilogy
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
as a
All
tool
right.
of some sort.
So that was a holiday special, just talking a little bit about that. So let's get into The Mandalorian season 2, episode 4. How did y'all like or dislike this episode?
I loved it.
I liked it.
Carl Weathers did a hell of a job with it.
Yeah, he
I,
did.
I really liked it too. So let's kind of dive into that. So we have major trouble with the Razor Crest, right? The child is trying to help him figure out what's wrong with the Razor Crest, mid-flight. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah, but the red one where the blue one was, put the blue one where the red one was.
He's all
Blue, red. Shocks himself.
Yeah.
It seemed kind of like throughout the episode, just talking about that, it had it kind of seemed like it mirrored a few things that we've seen in Marvel, because that part seemed very, not to say it wasn't great, but it seemed very reminiscent of Rocket talking to Baby Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So tell me what you're gonna do. You're gonna press this? No, like telling him about the bomb. Like it kind of it seemed like it kind of like played off of that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, it did. I think it worked though. It made me laugh.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
That silly kid.
I know, right? And speaking of that silly kid, there's a moment where they're both eating their little soup, and the child, I don't know if y'all noticed, he tries to cop a look at Mando when Mando's kind of like sipping his drink. He's kind of like,
I did not catch that. No.
Oh yeah.
I just remember thinking for a second, like he's taking off his helmet, and he didn't take it off. But like I just remember thinking that, seeing him do that. I was like, well, he's got to eat and drink. He's got to lift up his mask for that. But not, he didn't take it off entirely.
yeah.
But I was like, expected that for a second.
Did you notice that, Micah?
Yeah, I saw his chin, and I was just like, ah, getting close, buddy. As soon as an alarm goes off, if too much, he shows his facial skin, like, you know.
So, what do you guys think would have happened if the child did see his face?
Put a straw in his drink.
Would he have to kill the child? Or
No.
I wonder how that works.
He would feel ashamed and probably, I don't think he'd kill the child, but maybe make a promise with the child, like, thing. Promise me you're not gonna say it. You take off my mask. Yeah, he did the same thing with Kara, right? Someone, the first season.
It was with the IG-11.
Yeah,
IG. That's right, IG-11.
He was prepared to die, and it's like, I am technically not a living being.
Yeah.
So that's how they escaped that. They wouldn't have done it. I don't know, because it would defeat everything that he's done, except for a little slippage of a face. It wouldn't have happened. I'm not worried about it.
Right. So now that they're having more trouble with the Razor Crest, they head back to Cara Dune and Griff Karga for some help. On
Navarro.
Yes, on Navarro, where we find out Cara Dune has pretty much become the marshal of that town, and is seems like she's cleaning up that town. Where it opens up with a really cool fight scene. I think she did a really wonderful job. I mean, it doesn't look like they use a stunt person for for any of that. I don't know. I don't what possibly they did, but it didn't look like it.
No, I think that was all her. I mean, especially with her background, I'm sure she does most of her stunt work, if not all of it.
Yeah, she kicks some ass. I think she seems more confident this season than she did in the first season this time
You,
around.
you mean like acting wise?
Yeah, acting wise, yeah, I just feel like she's like, really going for it this time
Mhm.
with what she's trying to do with her character than what she did in the first season.
Yeah.
I feel like she's more comfortable getting into her role, her character.
Yeah, and I think that's probably comes with, the fans probably love her character, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man,
Yeah.
she's getting a lot of love for her character now.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So Griff Karga says, "Hey, we can help you out, but we need help too, you know." So um Mando's like, "All right, well, what do y'all need?" And in the meantime, they put the child uh, in the school, and there's some cool interaction
Yeah,
with the kids in the school. Um, what did y'all think about that?
with the macaroons, the blue macaroons.
The blue macaroons.
I was
They
Yeah.
try-
had
I was trying.
macaroons in space.
It seems it's like Baby Yoda's always hungry. It seems like a lot of the action we get with him. Can't fight, but we could see him eat something. Uh, I was paying attention to the droid and what the droid was trying to say to the class.
Yeah.
But I already forgot. I remember having titles on, and I just don't remember what he said.
Well,
I think he was just talking about the. I think he was just talking about the systems and like what planets are in what system.
Yeah.
Nothing.
about
Nothing.
hyperdrive,
Oh, is it hyperdrive?
yeah, like traveling. They were talking about the Kazian or the Hadean way and the Corellian,
Yeah.
you know, I guess I don't know, kind of like a highway through space. You know what I mean? Travel space, place to go from place to place that you would be able to use your hyperdrive most effectively.
So I woke up this morning, found out that those macaroons, uh, that are they're selling those now for like $50. The Star Wars.
God damn it.
Get a dozen of those blue macaroons, Star Wars macaroons for $50.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
In the wrong
Think of
business
it.
then.
That's
Everything for the
crazy. I'm not eating them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that was
So,
kind of funny to see him take and I thought that kid was gonna share, but he's just like, no, I don't know who you are. He just
yeah.
keeps it to himself.
And it's weird because not weird, but I wonder if anybody noticed using the force there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because I think that might be dangerous moving forward. The more he uses the force, the more exposed he'll be, I think.
Yeah. If the wrong person sees that.
Yeah. And so we move on to, hey, we got a mission to do, complete here, so we can get help with our ship. And the mission is to take out an Imperial base reactor on an abandoned base. And when they get there, turns out it's full of stormtroopers. So that seems to be the way, right? You think it's abandoned and it's full of troopers or something. So um, what I did notice in this episode is that Griff Karga pretty mean to the Mithril through this whole episode, but it's kind of funny in a way. I don't know. What did y'all think?
Well, of course. I mean, does he have to be? Not necessarily, but he is doing a solid not being in the carbonite freeze anymore.
Yeah.
But also too, it seems like the Mithril is very um unwilling to participate.
Mhm.
So I mean, he just keeps on kicking the ship to make it go a little bit faster, I guess. Like I get it, but it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just tries to keep those in a way he tries to keep those shackles on him because he knows he deals with those people all the time. So he's
Yeah.
just like, you better not try to get away with something. So he trying to he keeps him he keeps him in check by telling him, do you want to get back in this carbonite? Do you want, is this what you really want? Because I can do this if you're trying to test me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's just part of his the personality he's gotten from his role
Yeah.
that he has to be like that with them.
Yeah, I think that it's funny though. 'Cause I just love the interaction where he's like, if you want us to hurry up, why don't you get out here and you help out? I thought it was just really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Really good stuff there. So the team finds out that the Imperial base is actually a lab, and they find a recording about the asset slash the child. So what did y'all think about that? I thought that was pretty interesting that they came across that. Any thoughts, guys?
I'm being vindicated for one of my theories, maybe.
What
Maybe.
was your theory? Because I remember you saying that you were right, and I was like, what is he right about? Like, what were you saying?
Fuck you, Tim. I mean, I think it's still yet. Well, I said I was right, but I mean right in part, but we don't know entirely yet. I had a semi-working theory that um, Moff Gideon wanted the child because obviously having like that cloning insignia on
Yeah.
the medical officer, Dr. Pershing. And I was thinking maybe because we see him with the dark saber obviously at the end of season 1. He obviously seems to know a lot about that culture, and obviously he wants powerful people to want to become more powerful. So I was thinking in part maybe he wanted Baby Yoda because somehow there'd be a way that we see in the Phantom Menace talking about midichlorians as a microscopic bacteria almost. Like maybe there's a way to get that the midichlorians and somehow make more of it by using it from the child, or either that or siphoning it from the child. So maybe if there was some potential way that Moff Gideon were to be able to take it, and he becomes, in a sense, force sensitive,
Mhm.
and then we kind of start to see those confirmations in this episode. Not necessarily just for that. It leaves. I think it actually opens that door a little bit, but that they were interested, in Baby Yoda for, they say in the episode, the M counts, and we
Mhm.
all believe they're talking about midichlorian counts. Um,
Wait, so you think
that
Moff Gideon is the subject that they're talking about when he in that message? That they're
no,
saying the that that test has failed with the other subject because they didn't have enough of his blood. That this other subject that he's saying, we don't know who it is,
no,
but he's like,
not at
we're
all,
ready
Tim.
to if they have enough blood.
No, Tim, not at all. I'm saying
Okay, well,
he wants midichlorians, so he can become powerful. It's just a working theory.
okay.
Obviously, talking about the child, but they're also talking about how subjects were not taking the transfusions. Obviously, he's not stupid. He's just gonna be like, okay, let me take that child's blood and stick it in my arm and see what happens. Obviously, there's gonna be test subjects, and obviously, we saw some of those, and some kind of I don't were those necessarily back to tubes, Lewis?
They look like back to some kind of testing back to tubes or whatever. A lot of people are possibly
Incubator.
wondering, that's another possibility, Tim, if that wasn't actually Snoke in there.
No, as a failed test subject, which would make
Hmm.
sense because which would partly make sense to my working theory is because if they were trying to do, see if they could take a new, subject and take the transfusion of the midichlorians from the child's blood to this, it
Hmm.
would explain why you have some deformed looking cat that was particularly strong in the force,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know. But then
yeah.
again, that may not also be the case because we know well, the place blew up.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things with any story, really. I guess in Star Wars too, because just because you saw the place blow up doesn't mean you saw the particular person die. And I
Speaking
can't
of
imagine. Oh, here it goes.
Mando thought Moff Gideon was dead,
Yeah.
right? From what he
Well,
saw.
Yeah.
well, technically speaking, he still thinks he is dead. He
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
there. He didn't see that holo recording.
yeah, and that's what I'm kind of like. I'm like kind of bridging the two ideas. You know what I mean? Like you said, just because you think that you saw something doesn't mean it's what actually happened.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right there, Micah. Um,
That must have hurt.
it's so the Imperials are out for Baby Yoda's blood, right? Also, Mando realizes that Moff Gideon is still alive, and they race back to get to the child, and in doing so, invoke a speeder and TIE fighter chase action sequence. How did you like that action sequence, Tim?
Oh, that was a cool sequence. Yeah. I did like uh the way the sequence started and how they're coming down the mountain, and you just see one of the speeders, the guys on the speeders is like, I know you're thinking of that
Coming
song,
down the
Micah.
mountain, which
Oh. No, I was thinking
just the
of
way you
the
said
other
it,
one.
I was like,
I was thinking of the other guy coming down the mountain, and then it's just like the song goes. No, Jane's Addiction, right? Jane's Addiction, coming down the mountain.
who has an addiction
Anyway,
and why are you talking about it? That's so
it's
rude.
they play it on freaking rock radio all the time. All right,
I'm
so
kidding, fool.
yeah, so when they were coming down and freaking you see one of the troopers like look back at his fellow trooper behind him like, hey, uh I guess he didn't expect him to crash on those rocks right behind him. It kind of gave it that human feel. It said like him actually cared about his trooper, and then he just kept going forward. Uh, and to see yeah, to see the fighters fly overhead, right, and shoot the rocks to try to, or no, he was shooting the rocks to get the fighters out the way at the top. But I was thinking that the fighters coming from the top should have done that to them. Should have shot at the mountains to pile up the road. They didn't do
Mhm.
that. Uh, but I mean, it's still cool to see them uh, fight against the speeders with what they had, and pushing them up against the wall, and what's his name, shooting at him with the cannon from the top. He was just standing right in front of it. And then to see the finish with Mando coming in and taking out the fighters was actually pretty cool. I think I like that part more than the land fight, the
Mhm.
the TIE fighter, the part where he's taking them out.
How about you,
Yeah.
Micah?
Yeah, I thought it was a great sequence. Nice little action between the elements. Obviously escaping, then the whole land. You had just the terrestrial, the speeders essentially going against each other, and then you have the TIE fighters coming, being obviously rescued by Mando, not Lando. It was just kind of funny because I guess you could kind of tell maybe they're going that direction because when they go in, the Mythra is like, "Oh God, look at that!" Blah blah blah. I forgot the name of it. But then they end up using it as their getaway. Because they're trying to escape before the countdown goes to zero, obviously because the base is going to blow up, and then they're just like, and they're also fighting these guys. Stop. But I mean, yeah, I thought it was a great sequence. Just everything that they had to do for that.
So there's a little Easter egg there. I don't know if you guys caught it or not. Micah just mentioned it. The Mithril says, "Oh, look at that. It's almost essentially like a tank, right? But it's just like
Mhm.
rectangular. That speeder that they used to get like their getaway car. That was actually created back, I think, in the in the 70s when the initial Star Wars A New Hope came out. As it was a toy, right, to hold your toys. So it was never actually seen until
Oh, that
now.
was the Antonio. I
And
knew there was
and it,
something more to that. I knew there was something more to that thing.
yeah, and if you hear the Mithril, he's like, "Wow, that's a whatever, speeder or whatever." If
You
you
could
had
get a
one of
lot of money
those,
for
you
that in
could.
the market. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, because it didn't exist until now. And if you did have one of those, you'd be having a little bit of cash there. So I thought that was a cool Easter egg. Um, and so Micah and Tim, you both mentioned that the Razor Crest comes to the rescue. It looks so much better, clean and shiny on the outside. And we find out that while Mando is taking out the TIE fighters, that the child loves to fly crazy. Arms up like it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
uh, I thought that was really neat, really cute. And he ends up blowing chunks at the end there. That was pretty funny too. But then the Razor Crest is and once they take out the TIE fighters, they're like, we gotta go. Griff Karga's like, hey, let me buy you a drink. They're like, no, we gotta get out of here. I'm on a mission to get this kid somewhere. And after that, what were you gonna say, Tim?
Nothing. I'm just listening. Sorry.
Oh, okay. And we come back to a scene where Griff Karga is interrogated by the New Republic. And the New Republic seems that they know something in the Outer Rim territories, but they don't know what. Is that a sense that you guys had as well, or is that just me?
I
Yeah,
didn't
of
get
course.
that.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's always kind of like you have this major, conflict, but then you have all these side conflicts and going on, but there's usually something alluding to the real thing that's going on in the background. And I mean, I think you very much get that case, and it's kind of confirmed at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so we find out, right? Well, they destroyed the installation, right? Because they, yes, almost like Obi-Wan Kenobi did, right? The reactor, they turned down the I guess the
Mm.
shield
Call
gen.
back, call back to a New Hope.
Hmm. Didn't happen as gracefully as Obi-Wan did it, right?
Yeah, right.
The Mithril is out there doing that, but nonetheless, they destroyed the installation, and now we find out that Moff Gideon has a lab on his ship. Uh, what did you guys think about that? Trent Westbrook, our dear friend, and he's been on the show several times, messaged me, and I'll share that what he messaged me about what he thinks about the lab here in a minute. But what do you guys think about that lab on Moff Gideon's ship?
I think he wants to be a powerful dude, and he's trying to use everything he possibly can to become more powerful. I feel like I couldn't exactly see what it was he was standing upon. I'm assuming those are Death Troopers, or maybe some new version of it.
Right. Well,
Uh,
Death Troopers we see in what a Rogue One, right?
yeah, yeah, but I mean, what is it in Legends? Because like some of them they would use like what Silt alchemy, and they're essentially like
They're
zombies or some shit.
those are what you're calling and what Trent thinks they are Dark Troopers.
That's
Dark
what I was
Troopers?
thinking.
Oh,
DAR.
Dark Troopers.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dark Troopers. Yeah.
What did I say? Oh, I said Death. Okay, no, I meant
Yes.
Dark Troopers.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
My bad, my bad.
undead
I was like,
undead
didn't I
trooper.
just say that? God damn, this guy sucks. I suck. I said the wrong thing. um,
So yeah, that's what Trent was saying that he thinks that they are. And so we might be seeing some of that Sith alchemy that you're talking about, Micah. Who knows?
It's really neat though, because it seems like you're pulling some of this stuff that's not entirely mainstream for
Hmm.
your mainstream viewers who've watched the movies, maybe watched a little bit of Clone Wars and stuff, but you're
Yeah,
starting to see them pull some really, really neat stuff
Yeah.
from Legends and
yeah,
being able to introduce it here and to um, the Mandalorian, which I think it's already working brilliantly, and also in doing that, that might be like a calling for okay, maybe we do need to start bringing back some of this legend stuff, and whether it's mini episodes or like mini series on
hmm
Disney Plus, or maybe even like just like I think we discussed it before, like what if you had a movie about Darth Revan, but it was called Legends, as
yeah,
if they're sitting around a campfire talking, and the whole movie is this retelling of this legend
that's
story that they don't know if it's true or not about, Darth Revan or something like that. I think that would be a really cool way that they could do something like that. And it seems like they're kind of testing the space for some of these very, particular things that are now deemed legends in the Star
yeah,
Wars verse.
yeah, very much so. So I'm going to ask you guys. Um, well, I didn't ask Tim. Tim, what do you think about the lab on the ship?
Oh,
Did you see anything different or?
yeah, I mean, same thing that Trent was saying, just like
Mhm,
well, at first I was thinking what Michael was thinking,
mhm,
and then right after I was just like, what if those are the, those undead troopers that, I mean, I don't
yeah.
know this, I don't know what the story is behind it. I never read or heard about those legends besides
Mhm,
hearing that stuff from you, and I think some stuff on like YouTube somewhere, but yeah, I just like that's what I thought of. It just
mhm.
I had never seen that before, so I was just thinking, like, what could that be? And I did end up thinking that these are those undead troopers that we're
Mhm.
looking at.
So we're going to rewind just a little bit from that episode. And I forgot to mention that now there's a tracker on the Razor Crest.
Hmm.
And we're almost assured to get Ahsoka in the next episode.
Yeah.
Can you agree with that? Is this how
Oh
we
yeah,
get a lightsaber battle between Ahsoka and Moff Gideon in the next episode? Because there
yeah.
is a tracker.
I mean, because Filoni is doing the next episode too,
Hmm.
and we kind of knew that going into this one that more than likely there's gonna be another side quest to the main quest kind of thing in
Yeah.
an attempt to find Ahsoka. Um, uh, I mean, it would make sense because if Moff Gideon shows up with the Dark Troopers, Mando has something to take care of this whole time, and then it could be maybe Moff Gideon versus Ahsoka. So we
Hmm.
see the lightsaber battle. Like that's gonna be pretty sweet. But I don't know if they're rumors, but I thought like this next one coming forward is gonna be a long episode, like an hour episode.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Especially, I mean, it sounds like there's gonna be plenty of content to go into it, because you still got to meet her. There's still gonna be like, what's real, who the hell is she, kind of thing in his eyes, and then like, who are these fools flying in shooting at us?
Yeah. So I want to ask both of y'all this, but I want Tim to kind of get his thoughts as well first. Now that we know there's a tracker on the Razor Crest, is Mando gonna blame Griff Karga for the tracker on the ship and thus cause
Mm.
a rift between the two?
Uh,
What was that?
I
Ah.
I didn't think of that. What?
That was the first thing I thought of. That's what I wanted to get from you guys. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna. Because the job's done, right? So if anything, he'd take the fight back to uh Navarro, and they would track him there. Where is he going next? Because I don't know.
We have to wait and find out, right? What do you think, Micah?
I don't think it lasts for long, but I think his gut reaction probably will be to be like, "Hey, dude, what the hell?"
Yeah.
You know, because there's been times in the past that he's been pressured into it because when they first go to Navarro, um, in season one, when he goes back to Navarro, initially when they landed, they were going to kill Mando and take the child. You know, he says, "Oh," and then this episode, "Oh, sure, yeah, we'll take care of it. We'll figure out an arrangement for your ship," and it ends up being this whole shitstorm that happens in the episode.
Mhm.
So I don't. It's not like uh, it won't be like a continued thing. Like screw Grief Karga for the remainder of their time. But there probably will be some due amount of suspicion to be like,
Mhm.
hey, what the hell's going on, kind of thing, because as we've seen in Star Wars and even this season, it's like, what? That wasn't the deal. The deal's
Yeah.
getting worse all the time,
Yeah.
So who's to know that, or maybe that's just an excuse they planted in there so we can see them again, hopefully by the end of the season.
Cool. So we liked the episode. Well, some of us really enjoyed the episode. Tim liked the episode. And it's time for some Mandalorian trivia.
I like how Lewis doesn't get quizzed on some of the stuff.
Nobody, I'm the only one that is. Come on, give me a break. Micah, you come up with the quiz
Yeah.
next time.
Are you gonna quiz Alex Trebek, Michael? Come on.
Oh, damn.
You're comparing Lewis to Trebek?
I'll take
I mean, that is a compliment. I'm just not sure it's a founded compliment.
All right, who wants to go first?
Tim.
I'll go first. Yeah.
All right, Tim. Tim's going first. All right, Tim. First question. What was the title of season 2, episode 4?
Fuck. I don't know.
All right, Micah, you get a chance to steal. What is the title of season 2, episode?
Dude, I'm still not even awake. I don't. I'm gonna feel it's probably wrong, or it is wrong, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. Like the confrontation or something.
Close. It was the siege.
Sure. Siege,
Yes.
confrontation. It's a synonym. I get half a point. Thank
Half a
you.
point. All right, Micah. Next one.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
What species did Cara Dune find scavenging in the old Mandalorian?
You're gonna ask that goddamn question. I forgot the hell the name of the species. We see him initially in the cantina on Mos Eisley. The one who got his arm taken off.
Yep.
Damn it! I forgot. Tim.
I didn't hear you there.
Steal.
Okay.
I didn't hear what you said.
You didn't hear the
What?
question from Lewis?
No, you, Michael. I didn't hear you. Cut out.
I said I don't know. Then I said Tim. Like you have a chance to steal.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what those things are called.
They're called aqualish.
They don't look very aqualish.
Well, that's what they're called. All right. Back to Tim. How many years is a mithril indebted to Griff Karga?
30 years.
Wrong.
What?
Micah.
Yeah, that's super wrong. Wasn't 250 or 300? I think it was 300.
That's
Initially.
wrong. It's 350.
Oh, you
300. All right.
Oh,
So
really?
far, Tim has 0. Micah has half a point.
Hey.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
All right, Micah. What color were the snacks that the child stole?
I feel like I'm gonna say blue. You're gonna be like, no, it was really an aqua blah 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 blah. Blue.
They were blue. There.
Suck it, Tim.
All right,
Suck at
Tim.
this game.
Tim, what planet are Cara Dune and Griff Karga on?
Navarro.
I
Yes.
knew I shouldn't have said the planet name earlier on.
I was trying to stay away from it, but you needed to put it in there. All right. Micah, what is the doctor's name that we see on the hollow recording?
Oh, okay. I said that earlier too. Dr. Pershing.
Very good.
2.5 to 1. Randall,
How
go
many
on.
speeder bikes go after the team?
4.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Micah.
I think. Oh shit. I think it was initially 3, but then 1 blew up like right after takeoff, so it was just 2 following them. But you said how many take off? So 3?
Wrong. 5. Actually, 2 of them blow up initially.
Oh, that's
One
right.
runs,
Okay.
yeah, one runs into the rock and blows up the other one. And then 3 go after them, continue after him. So it's a total of 5. All right. So Micah's turn. The child is holding 2 wires. What were the colors of those wires?
Red and blue.
Very good. Tim.
3.5 to 1, Tim.
Who directed this episode?
John Favreau.
That's wrong. Micah, you want to give it a shot?
Carl Weathers.
Very good. Carl Weathers. Bonus bonus question. Whoever gets this right wins the whole thing no matter what. You're gonna have to ding in for
how many
this one.
points is it worth, real quick?
1 million points.
Wow, okay.
All right, so you're gonna have to ring in for this, Tim. Go ding 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 or buzz or whatever you want to do. All right. This is a kind of a 2-parter. It makes it a little bit more difficult.
So does that mean they're one part's a million, the other part's half a million, or what?
No. They gotta get the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Who spoke the last line of dialogue in this episode, and what did they say?
Ring.
Micah.
I believe it was. I feel like there's some catch. Moff Gideon, and he just basically said, "We will be ready."
I want to give it to you, Micah.
That's close enough. Fuck you.
Yes, yes. We'll give Micah the points. He actually says, "And we will be ready."
That's what I said.
Well, no, you missed the "and," so
Hold on now. This ain't no goddamn
Dude, that's what I was thinking the same.
I'm celebrating victory. I'm sorry, you can't add words.
I'll give you.
Then you had that camera close up to his face as it zooms into his face and he says it.
Dude, it looks like you wanted to go over there and strangle Pat Sajak.
So, Mike, I'm gonna have to give you only half a point for that one. So.
Okay, that's still more than Tim's points, and when that puts me at like 4 to 2, then.
There you go.
I could have stole that. Could have stole that from you, Micah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. We found out that we enjoy the Mandalorian, not the holiday special so much.
One quick thing about the holiday special.
Yes.
The narration of the holiday special was actually done from a child. Grown up.
Was actually what?
Because he was telling a story in the future about what is in the past. Story in the past. Because we got a young looking Yoda, right? Telling the story. It wasn't the old version. It was a young one. I don't know if you noticed that, but he already had the story and he was telling the story, which means.
Well, let's also not forget
Baby Yoda
time travel.
It's actually a clone of Yoda. It's reincarnated.
No, they wouldn't cheapen that.
We'll see. We shall see.
I mean, we did see Yoda and Baby Yoda in that episode and the holiday special.
Okay. Is it
Yes or
okay?
no, Tim?
We saw like
Yeah.
five
no?
different,
Yeah. Yeah.
Lukes too.
Did you catch the one thing where they were kind of like making fun of some of the stuff they'd done? They said McClunky.
Yes.
I was
McClung.
like, oh my
When
god,
he came in to join the party, McClunky.
McClunky. I
That's
feel like whoever did it was kind of like making fun of some of that stuff.
yeah, I agree. Too funny. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up this episode. This was
You want to shoot first?
huh?
After you.
Yeah, it was. Well, and I think there was there was 3 actors that actually played their parts, which was Anthony Daniels as C-3PO. There was Kelly Marie Tran as Rose Tico, and then
They weren't
Billy
actually there,
Williams. Huh?
It wasn't their actual voice though, right?
Yeah. And then Billy Williams played Lando Calrissian in the holiday special.
Dang.
Oh, I didn't recognize it because it's like just right off the bat, it sounded. I know it was Lego, but like some of the voices, especially Palpatine, sounded very much like one person doing different voices, like they do for Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
So I think once I saw that, or maybe it's when I saw the trailer, and I just thought that about at least Palpatine, I just kind of turned off my ears and I was like, no, they're all the same.
Yeah, no, that's and then Matt Leitner, who actually plays Anakin in the Clone Wars, played Anakin in this one, and Greedo, I think. So that was kind of cool too. But yeah, so there was 3 actors from the theatrical versions that were playing their own parts. I thought that was kind of cool.
What do you think about Emperor Palpatine turning good at the end? Oh, like this is kind of nice. Why was I so mean? That's kind of thoughtful. That's Emperor in a galaxy.
Good thing we know that this isn't canon. It's a fucking cartoon.
Oh my gosh. It's funny how it's like parts of this could be considered canon and parts not. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny how that might play out.
It's a different universe. Okay.
Yeah. Time travel. Make it happen.
Not
Space
my
time.
Star Wars. That's gonna be the next hashtag. Watch it. Not my Star Wars.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'll make that a thing. Don't you worry about it, boys.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap up episode 81 of the Force Choke podcast. I want to thank everybody for liking, subscribing, following us on all your social medias, including YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know, all those places that you can find. Oh, also, iHeartRadio and not iTunes anymore. What is it? Apple Music. Apple Music.
Or Apple Podcast. No, Apple Podcast. My bad.
Apple Podcasts. Make sure to listen to us there. We appreciate it. Leave us comments, suggestions, and whether you like us or not. Just a rating can also help us. But we want to thank everybody for myself, Tim, Micah, and we are missing Sarah. We want to thank everybody for all your support here at the Force Choke podcast. May the Force be with you. The council has spoken.
Say bye, Tim.
Later.
Say bye, Tim.
Bye.
Say it once more with your chest.
No.